I don't usually say this. I usually try to preserve topics like this for big time investment opportunities. Okay, this is what I usually do. So this is kind of special. I will say that this is pretty special. I'm getting rid of a massive amount of Ethereum, which you know is my biggest holding for some altcoins. Okay, I got altcoins in this video we're gonna be talking about today. And I'm also gonna do the most important thing, which is explain the background, right? My thesis, exactly why I'm investing in it. Now, I've been saying it over and over again in a lot of videos, but there is definitely a lot of new information. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the altcoins, the thesis behind it, and all of my little intricate reasons that happen to be not that intricate, because I'm not that smart. I'm normal, just like you. Or maybe I'm not normal, because I have a YouTube channel with... All right. You get the point. This content is brought to you by Fundamental Secrets. Get coin calls, all of my coin calls, coaching, as well as the greatest digital course on planet Earth. It is currently 40% off. Go to thefundamentalsecrets.com. Catch you guys on the other side. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of altcoins that come across my table at the perfect time, by the way. You guys know in my live streams, and pretty much every single video, I've been fairly bullish on some altcoins, and we'll go over all of those details. I'm also going to explain to you the background of exactly why I'm making this decision, and then I'm going to invest in a basket of goods or a basket of altcoins that follow my thesis. So I'm giving you the full 360 perspective, and as a viewer, if you could do me a favor and give me the 360 response by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and of course, sharing this video with a friend. Also, pro tip, if you turn on post notifications, you'll get these videos first. I talk about altcoins under 50 mil. I think maybe only 10% of my audience will understand what I'm saying right now. But turn on post notifications is what I'm trying to tell you. I get a little risky in these videos. I'll say that. I do get a little risky. So if we come over here, top 100 altcoins versus BTC. Now, the reason why we're looking at these charts right now is because I want to make sure we're at least close to an altcoin season. And I want to get some data that backs up my thesis. So I think starting here might be the most important, way of making this decision. You can see I drew this out a couple of months ago, and it's kind of just trading in this channel. We started buying altcoins around here, and now we're kind of concluding to the top of the channel, which I think has a really good chance of breaking out. Now, I'm going to give you reasoning behind that. I'm not just going to, speculate. So if we come over here, you could see that Ethereum specifically, this is a really important chart, right? So we're looking at ETH versus BTC. So just for my new people, very simply put, let me just delete this. If the market goes up, in this case, Ethereum is doing better than Bitcoin. If the market goes down, in this case, Bitcoin's doing better than Ethereum. So just to make it very simple for you, this is ETH out competing Bitcoin by percentage gains. So it's historically, obviously, since 2015, it's done, so much better than Bitcoin. So you'd be so much better holding, Ethereum. Now you're probably begging the question, Alex, why are you getting rid of Ethereum if it's doing better than Bitcoin? Well, I think Bitcoin's going to 100K, and I think Bitcoin is probably going to break out, which is an indicator for me. It's not just an investment opportunity, right? Ethereum breaking out is also an indicator that, hey, layer ones are probably going to get some adoption. Okay, we've been talking about this over and over again. Hence, some of my investments like Erratix that I talk about a lot of times. I bought, Polkadot and ADA. Layer one adoption is a very easy, I guess you could say, trend to get your head around. Now, it's really important that we think of it as like narratives, because at the end of the day, cryptocurrencies are communities, and they're primarily driven by strong narratives, not even utility. So I think the layer one narrative right now, and gamify, right, or decentralized metaverses and different things like that. So specifically, again, layer one and metaverses are very strong narratives. I think the layer one narrative is probably a little bit safer, and then we have the metaverse, that's probably a higher risk, opportunity for what people are thinking about. Remember, it doesn't need to have utility. Like, there's so many coins. For example, Cardano still has not dropped a smart contract, that works with DeFi. They have NFTs, but they don't have any DeFi applications yet. It's a top 5 cryptocurrency. So community and, narratives and something that people can believe in is almost more important in a lot of probably every situation, to be honest. I mean, look at Bitcoin has the least utility, but the most adoption, right? Like, think about this, right? I want to make sure that my thesis aligns with that. Okay. So layer one, safe bet, the scaling to layer two, safe bet, right? These are very, very confirmed narratives, I would say. If we come over here and look, this kind of adds to it with some data, right? So Matic has been destroying Ethereum. We're looking at ETH versus BTC, right? So if ETH has been destroying Bitcoin, right, then Matic, the number one layer two scaling solution by total users, not by TVL, but total users, is destroying Ethereum. Okay, so if this goes up, Matic's doing better than ETH. If this goes down, ETH is doing better than Matic. And you see, since May, ETH has kind of been winning and getting some adoption. But with GameFi and some of the other theses we've been talking about, I genuinely think that layer two adoption is going to happen relatively soon. So layer one's confirmed for me. Layer two is definitely confirmed for me, considering, again, Ethereum might be breaking out, right? This is a very important chart right here. It moves like markets in a different way than Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves everything, right? But Ethereum specifically moves utility markets. It moves utility markets. So things that are, that have like high transaction speeds, or, the capacity to run 1 million users, or, these things as a secondary narrative. Like, we have the Bitcoin hedge against monetary inflation narrative, and then we have the Ethereum, hey, these blockchains can pretty much derive value from everything in smart contracts. That's a second narrative. So when the ETH starts breaking out, this narrative becomes more apparent, and more people start believing that utility is the answer. And we'll see things like Matic start to do better, like they've been doing in the past couple of months. Like, look at how ridiculous this is, right? So just breaking it down kind of like baby style so you guys really understand what's going on. But I think this is what's really, really going to start this next, I guess you could say, altcoin cycle. Now, this chart here is very interesting. It's a little bit intricate, but I just took kind of like the top layer ones, right? So you could see I'm comparing 88 to ETH. You could see I'm comparing BNB to ETH. You could see I'm comparing Polkadot and BNB to ETH. So these are all compared to the Ethereum narrative, right? The Ethereum L1, the big L1. And you can see that even they have been outcompeting Ethereum, right? So if this chart goes up, then these layer ones are doing better. And if this chart goes down, then Ethereum is doing better. And you can see at this point right here, we had a pretty significant increase. Now, you can't really see percentages because of the way the chart is made. But the point I'm trying to make is we're coming to an ultimatum point here, which kind of encapsulates what's going on here too with the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. We're coming to a maybe potential breakout. And that would be really, really big for all altcoins, guys. It's almost a better indicator than that stupid website that says altcoin season index. This is a better indicator than that for sure. Keeping it simple is always the best way in your trading strategy. And I teach this and over again. An elegant strategy is better than a complicated strategy. So let's move into exactly what's going on here. So as you can see, from L2beat.com, there's been an uptrend of how many people have been adopting L2. So the TVL currently on all L2s is $6.48 billion. If we look at Max, you can see it basically going parabolic right now. And it's because of what we've been talking about. More people are moving to L2s to take advantage of like the obvious features of, fast transaction speeds and cheap transaction costs, right? People don't want to pay $150 on Ethereum to transact on some game or something like that, right? So in general, these things that I'm saying here is not out of the ordinary, right? The narratives that I am proposing to you is not like out of the blue. This is something that's been confirmed for the past couple of months. And if you were able to see that before everybody else, you would have already made a lot of money. So what I'm going to be talking about today, which brings me to, the main topic of discussion, is another layer two that is really, really big. Okay. It's backed by really big entities. And the scaling solution is superior to other forms of scaling. And I even have a confirmation from a specific competitor that is already doing well in recent history. So we see the big trend doing well. We've seen the medium trend doing well. We see the small trend of layer twos doing well. Now I see the exact tech doing well in the layer two. So you see how we broke it down from the top all the way to the bottom. You could even take it a step further at the top by going into macroeconomics, which we talked about in our last live stream, where I think the conditions for Bitcoin look really, really positive because of this inflation, because of the variant, right, that everybody's talking about in Africa. These situations have always been good for Bitcoin. So the macro looks good. Bitcoin looks good. ETH looks good, right? L1 adoption looks good. L2 adoption looks good. And then the specific use case is brand new in L2. And this is where I hit it home for you guys. Home run altcoin season. I'm telling you right now, this is going to do very well in the next couple of months. And I have specific dates for you guys. And here's my confirmation right here. If you look into Loopring, and this is not the coin, it's already pumped. Look at the 30-day. 30-day, it's up 694%. So that's a 7x basically in 30 days. Okay, so this is, again, another confirmation on the specific, which if you know what Loopring is off the top of your head, we're talking about ZK rollups, which I just dropped the ball there. So let's talk about this company called Starkware. This is a huge company and they don't have an actual, I guess you could say coin or blockchain. They've chosen to not say anything about a coin. Every time someone asks them about a coin, they say no comment. So they don't have a specific coin, but I can give you guys the next best thing. So Starkware is basically they're Stark-proof pioneers, bringing scalability, security, and privacy to a blockchain near you. So right now, they're just kind of under the radar because of the fact that they don't have a coin, and their total value locked is 1 billion. They're getting 51 million transactions. These are some big promises, right? And when I make a video like this, when it's long like this, I get very detailed. You can tell I'm very excited about it because I'm spending my time researching it. Okay, there's a lot of projects that don't really excite me. I kind of look at the overview and let it go, right? That's why you see these short content. But then in this case, I'm diving very deep for a specific reason. And it's because there's an opportunity like this. I could put large lumps of money and sleep good, right? Some altcoins, you can't do that. But in this case, like I might put a significant percentage of my portfolio into the altcoins we're going to be talking about towards the end of the video. But Starkware is basically a company that makes L2 solutions, and they make it in different forms. And I'm going to talk about it, which is basically StarkX and StarkNet. But let me explain the tech behind it and everything going into the background. And also the team, of course, the team is outstanding. Some of them have worked on Zcash. These people are the highest of the high when it comes to credibility. And I don't want to waste your time because you can just look into that for yourself to look at what they've created before. But I've already, vetted it and they are pretty legit. If we come over here, you can see that Starkware, which is the entity that doesn't have a blockchain, they just create solutions for other blockchains. They are already getting huge funding, 50 million. Their company is estimated to be worth $2 billion. So a $2 billion company is creating solutions for L2, and their mainnet is about to launch very soon, probably even as I drop this video or shortly after. They've been claiming over and over again that it's coming out at the end of November. So, pay attention to what's going on. And this is their actual Twitter. They have 61.3K followers. Notice I follow a lot of credibility on my Twitter. A little pro tip here. If you go to my Twitter, you can actually follow all the people I follow, which is smart because I follow them for a reason. Usually my Twitter is only like cryptocurrency specific. I don't really follow old family friends or anybody that's like entertainment. I use my Twitter as kind of a cryptocurrency information type of vibe. So definitely go over to my Twitter and follow the people that I follow. Also, if you're smart, I have a $200 Bitcoin giveaway that's highlighted in my Twitter. So check that out. My handle is AlexOnCrypto. But as you can see here, a lot of the people I follow, 69 other people are following them. They have a lot of credibility behind them. I should be following. I don't even know why I'm not following. Turn on post notifications. And yeah, they're releasing their mainnet very soon. They've been in a testing phase. And I think it's very interesting. Now, let's look specifically into the tech. So what strategic advantage are they offering to other blockchains? So StarkNet and Cairo. Okay, so StarkNet is a permissionless, decentralized ZK rollup operating as an L2 network over Ethereum, where any dApp can achieve unlimited scale for its computation without compromising Ethereum's composability and security, which is really important because there's other layer 2s that do sacrifice that for the sake of scalability, right? Now, Cairo is a programming language for writing provable programs where the party can prove to another that a certain computation was executed correctly. So that's really important because they claim, I forgot the exact saying, but I've heard this from some of their interviews. The people that run Starkware, they've said that you can run, even if the actual server was owned by the government or a centralized entity, it would still run in a decentralized manner because of the way this cryptographic technology works. So basically, they can prove that a computation was executed correctly without seeing it, no matter who is providing, the actual database server, right? So that's a very interesting tech because it allows for, like they were saying, unlimited scalability. Okay, so if we look a little bit deeper, zero knowledge ZK proofs and argument systems are automated protocols that replace human auditors as a means of guaranteeing computational integrity over confidential data for efficient computation. So if you look at their white paper, they kind of go over a very nice overview of it. Basically, like, let's say hypothetically we have a murder case, and then, you know, one of the people involved that's maybe you know, a culprit, that could be a potential culprit, was, you know, a high ranking official in government, right? This guy could pay off people to tamper with evidence, right? So that he gets off the hook. And it's the same thing with DeFi protocols, right? We could have a node operator or you know, a miner or a staker that can have an incentive to change the next block to make money, right? There's incentives that can take away integrity. And if you can't see any of it, then there's no way that somebody could do that. So this is a very, very interesting tech. And if we just look a little bit into the programming language, just to give a couple of pointers, I don't want to go into the white paper. You guys can read it for yourself if you like. This video is going to get very long, but just to talk briefly about, you know, Cairo, it's basically a programming language that allows, you know, people that develop to not have to think about the economic side of, you know, making a smart contract, no like high level math. It's just simply kind of building an app the same way they're used to with, you know, for example, JavaScript or something like that. So that's the beauty of what they did. They make it kind of easy for the developer to, you know, get their blockchain integrated with StarkX or StarkNet, right? So this brings me to my next point. Okay, what is StarkX? This is kind of like their original product, right? A layer 2 scalability engine live on Ethereum mainnet. Total value locked is 1 billion. The big numbers we were talking about. You get massive scale, fast withdrawals, all the great things you see here. But it's just a service. So it's not an actual blockchain. You kind of integrate it with blockchains. That's how it works. It's kind of like their first product to make money, to get to the point where they can launch an actual mainnet, which we're going to talk about next. But here's exactly what it looks like, right? We have the user application. They do something like, I don't know, play a game. They go to StarkX's service, which is like the deal they have with the blockchain. They run it through this batch. They come over here to the actual Ethereum blockchain, which has a Stark verifier and the Stark smart contract, and it allows it to scale. So they're saying, from, you know, a couple of interviews I've read, they're allowed to reach up to 1,000 times more efficiency than Ethereum. So all they do is that if they have like 1,000 time, you know, kind of a value that's being saved, they take a percentage of that, and that's pretty much their business model now. And that's how they've gotten up to the point they are now, which, you know, is the big news. StarkNet is coming out very soon, guys. They keep saying over and over again that they're going to be launching at the end of November, and we're very close to that, right? So, you know, there's a way that speculation and narratives are going to play in this, and I think we can make some money off of this, or at least I can. And obviously, this is not financial advice, but this is what I'm doing, right? And you can see over here that they are doing something very specific. They already have a testnet that's currently working, and they can prove it on multiple levels. Now what they're doing is actually going to start a mainnet itself, and you can see they have things that are going to take away liquidity from the L1 Ethereum, right? Solidity to Cairo compiler. So you'll be able to take your Solidity code and compile it to their code to get their actual features, right? And they have a whole bunch of things happening. My goal here is not to run through the actual features, but I think it's just very important that here's just one instance for you guys to see. Alpha 4 was released today. This version is the mainnet release candidate. So this is like in a testnet. This is the mainnet release candidate. If everything goes according to plan, will be deployed at month's end. And this is November 17th. So they're deploying very soon. They're deploying very soon. I'm giving you the news before it happens. You should definitely pay attention. And if you look over here, this is the actual blocks on their system, on their ledger, that you can see in real time, so you know it's working. All right. So, okay, we talked about a whole bunch of thesis stuff. We talked about a whole bunch of back end. We went into pretty detail about like what the tech is behind this new service. So let's talk about how to make money in it. Okay, this is like the point where a lot of people are probably interested. So as you can see here, they have a couple of customers right now. They have DYDX, they have SoRare, they have Immutable, and Diversify. Okay, these coins are currently using StarkX, which is the actual software. So it's a high chance, in my personal opinion, that when StarkNet comes out, then the people that have currently StarkX will just migrate over to StarkNet. And the reason for that is because when they make a net, when they make a kind of complete system for everybody to use the L2 similar to Arbitrum, similar to Polygon, what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of money flood into this L2 network, right? So DYDX, Immutable, Diversify, and SoRare definitely want to capitalize on the liquidity that comes from this net, right? They don't want to section themselves off on their specific app when they could be a part of an ecosystem that has an economic incentive to make sure that they are successful, right? They're going to all team up and probably move to the mainnet. Now, there's no guarantee of this, but it's just obvious. It's logic, right? There's for sure DYDX, SoRare, Immutable, and Diversify are probably going to move there. We also see a lot of big entities like Aave and some of the biggest DeFi protocols that are actually creating teams basically integrate with Cairo and Starkware. So we see, again, the biggest movers that have done the smartest things like integrate with Polygon and integrate with Phantom and some other projects, they're going to start integrating with Starkware as well. So when the StarkNet comes out, this could be very big when it comes to how much money is moving on this layer 2, guys. This layer 2 is claiming to be safer than all of the other layer 2s. And like I said, if we bring it back over here, Loopring's already doing well for this exact reason. Look at Loopring. It's up 694%. They have their version of ZK rollups, right? And I would say from what I'm seeing in the community, this new one's way better. All right, so if we look at DYDX, if you look at it, it's just basically an exchange. So this is the coins that are basically probably going to get the value because they're the only coins that are using StarkX. And when StarkNet comes out, they're most likely going to integrate. But these coins, even if they don't integrate, they're going to get the hype, right? Look at the market cap, 816 million. They're doing ridiculous amounts of transactions. Look at the 24-hour trading volume, right? 223 million in trading volume. DYDX is one of the biggest exchanges in the world, like right now. So definitely pay attention to that. Also, if we look at layer 2 adoption, you can see DYDX is number 3. Right. So even though StarkNet hasn't come out yet, they have 935 million TVL, guys. So this is no joke, is what I'm trying to explain to you. And they're moving over to StarkNet, most likely. I would say that would be very foolish if they did not do that, because they would, have access to this whole ecosystem. If we look at the exchange, you can see it's powered by Starkware right in front of your face. And basically, the only problem I have with it is that you can't use it in the United States. You can't trade, but it's basically giving you the interface that everybody's used to in traditional finance, and it's very fast, very cheap. I haven't been able to use it again because I'm in the United States, but I've heard great things nonstop about it. Now, if we look at Mutable X, I've already talked about this coin, but this is the same thing, but in the NFT space. So they're attacking the NFT side of things, maybe some NFT marketplaces, maybe gamify, right? And this is obviously a better, in my personal opinion, opportunity because of the specific narratives of gamify and stuff like that. Yeah, but the market cap's relatively small, not exactly small, but it's 1.5 billion in market cap. So this is a little bit safer bet than DYDX, but DYDX has way more L2 adoption. Again, this is the first layer 2 for NFTs on Ethereum, zero gas feed, instant trades, all the benefits of ZK rollups. And they have some of the biggest games too, like Gods Unchained, Guild of Guardian Heroes. Like these are some of the biggest games that are happening right now. And they most likely will move to StarkNet. And if you continue, there's just another exchange called Diversify. I talked about this in one of my live streams. They have a token. They are way smaller, but as you can see, high risk, high reward. Market cap's 100 million. I think this could probably be 500 million to $1 billion market cap. So I'm going to hold this for a good amount of time. So again, just to run through overview of everything that's going on. I know it was a lot. We have a couple of theses kind of lining up, kind of like those dolls, right? So you see at the top, macro perspective looks good. Bitcoin looks good to 100K. Ethereum and layer 1s look good. Then we have layer 2 adoption because of retail coming in and some other theses that are happening. And then we have a specific tech within layer 2 that has a confirmed trend with Loopring that is called ZK rollups. And we have a superior form of that, I would say better than Loopring, happening right now. And the 3 coins to monetize it right now is DYDX, Immutable X, and Diversify. So there you go, guys, a complete overview. I've sold a lot of ETH for these coins, so pay attention to what's going on. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates, and like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this, guys. Catch you in the next one.